What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to the channel. Last Friday was one of my favorite days in my entire professional education career because we threw a Nintendo Labo classroom showcase, a field trip for two other districts to bring their students, their parents, their teachers, even board members and administrators to come and see everything that Nintendo Labo Classroom has to offer. So without further ado, let me introduce to you Mrs. Rao and Mrs. Sajeski, the two real stars of this entire Labo showcase.
Friday was our opportunity to hold our Nintendo Labo showcase, and it was just a chance for us to kind of demonstrate to other faculty and other students the centers and the lessons that we've been doing in our own classrooms.
The way that it came about was that after Krista and I started doing the Labo with our classes, we were so excited about it that I know several teachers in other districts that teach similar classes to ours, and one of my friends in Bethlehem taught a self-contained that was first and second graders, so I had reached out to her just to tell her to check out some of our videos and to look into Labo for them. We divided the students up into 5 groups, one for each station. They rotated through all of the different stations and were at each one for 15 minutes.
The station that I got to showcase was our obstacle course, so that was the opportunity for our students to drive through a pre-built course. But also bring in our language. So we had to talk about having to go around the pond, through the tunnel, push the animals into the gate. It really gave children to kind of explore their language and really have to communicate and problem solve together to figure out how to get through it.
So the station that I had was the letters and numbers, and I had all the kids sitting at the table, and I would alternate them randomly selecting one of the 5 letters that we were working on, and then numbers 1 through 5. So one of them would pick a letter, and then one of the students would get to go and drive the car to that letter on the floor, and then the rest of the students would be doing something with that letter at their seats at the table. So I had dry erase boards. They practiced writing uppercase and lowercase letters of whatever letter we were working on. I would ask them what sound the letter makes. We would talk about what things begin with that letter.
So we also put together a racing station. When our friends think about RC cars, they want to compete against each other. They wanted to race. So we set up a racetrack in our hallway, and one child on each side got to take a turn to see who could get down the track faster. An extension of that could be talking about their times that they got and who went faster and why.
So speaking of battling, the next station that the kids would go to were the RC car battles. This was like the most exciting one for them. They all couldn't wait to go to it. We had a square on the floor made out of duct tape, and they had to, 2 kids at a time, drive the RC cars and try to knock each other over or out of the square. So we just heard like cheering and chanting from that corner the whole time, and the kids loved it. An extension of that could be just talking about why certain kids were winning over and over and what they were doing differently, and
or how to modify the car to win the battle. So our last station is really kind of our home station. The kids were able to build their own cars and then modify them as they wanted with stickers and glitter and markers, and put their name on it and really take ownership. And they even got to take the car home.
And it was really amazing to see all of the kids from Bethlehem catching on so quickly. In my first group, they were all like, I said, do you need any help? And they would just say, no, we got it. And they were driving right to the letters and numbers. So just the rate of learning with the RC car and driving it is...
Yeah, I saw a lot of that too with the obstacle course. So, not only do we have to figure out the language of how to get and maneuver through the obstacle course, but just physically the act of doing that. And it was so fun to see some of our friends really thinking and learning in the moment. They were driving, and then they would take a pause and really have to think about which way they wanted the car to go. And that was phenomenal how quick that was. I've noticed just an increase with my own students, especially when we play the numbers and letters games. It just seems like they are retaining the information so much faster.
At the end of the day, we had like a little award ceremony where we called every student up and they got an official Labo certificate saying that they completed the RC car workshop. And then we also made every student a little Nintendo Labo trophy that we laminated, and they were so excited about this.
I teach a kindergarten self-contained program Jesse has a K2 developmental skills program, and this class that came with us was a 1-2 self-contained special ed program as well. We have some students who can potentially have significant behaviors, especially when it comes to learning and when things get really difficult. I felt something that we should highlight that was really impressive is that over this 2-hour span, not a single student was having a behavior issue. Nobody felt like something was too hard, nobody was struggling. They were just so engaged with what they were doing.
So on the same topic of just how motivating the Labo was at our event, since we do this once a week, that we're seeing an improvement in behaviors because the kids know that it's coming up at the end of the week. They want to be able to participate in it. We're working on things that we work on in other ways during the day too, but the difference is that doing it with the Labo is making them want to come to school because it's so fun. And you know, instead of it actually being a math lesson or a science lesson, it's like recess to them because they're playing Nintendo. Yeah. So they don't even really realize that they're learning, but it's just so much fun.
We don't even have recess on Friday afternoons because our friends go, that was so much fun playing today. And we're laughing inside because we've had learning objectives along the way the whole time, and they had no idea.
Now let's hear from other educators, administrators, and board members on their thoughts about Nintendo Labo Classroom.
I think it's great the differentiation that you can use with reading and incorporating math and science and social studies and the vocabulary that you can use and just the engagement of the students. I didn't see one student in there that was not engaged, even if they weren't participating directly with the controls. They were all watching and learning and listening and just having a great time.
And engagement is the key word as well. That Labo has a technology tool to teach letter sounds, number sense, and to your point as well, where you have one child who's actually using the device, and the other 4 children who are actually so engaged with that child using the device. What a wonderful way to learn.
It really was an awesome experience today. What was great about it was that it was so hands-on. The kids were constantly able to use all of the devices and try the different activities, and they were really, really involved.
I mean, Labo can have applications from like the youngest to the oldest grades because it has so much depth and ease of access. So I mean, you can start with the RC car, and it's easy to build, easy to drive around and try different things. You know, you can design obstacle courses, as our teachers have done here. The more complex Labo things, you're really practicing that skills of following directions and spatial awareness and really feeling that accomplishment of making something complex. You know, most of the work we've done so far has been kind of in the elementary school range, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, but we can totally see the applications for even older. The Toy-Con Garage gives you a very STEM focus, kind of if-then programming kind of experience, and you can design your own kind of interactions using the technology, and that definitely has applications all the way up through the 12th grade. It's really exciting.
Now, if you've made it this far in the video, then I can't thank you enough for watching. Don't forget to work hard, play hard, and I'll catch you guys next time.